so let's move on to the second part. Let's kind of do a little overview of the actual ads manager itself. The ad account on here. So if you're going into there, it'll be a drop down. It'll have all your ad accounts. Pretty simple on that one. And this is, again, business manager. If you're not having a business manager, you haven't created a business manager, then you're just going to be in your own ad account. That's it. Just your ad account. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to go ahead and let's just say we want to create an ad. So I'll just go to personally, I'll just go to my personal one, so that way no information will be leaked. So we want to actually create an ad on here. And so when we create an ad, now you can see that there's a bunch of different objectives. So in this part, I'm going to go ahead and run through all the different objectives and why you want to go through that. There's going to be a lot of objections for why people don't want to use a lot of these guys, but the objective is what you actually want to get out of it. So if you want conversions, then this is exactly what you want. So most people, you guys are going to want actual conversions. We can do lead generation, we can do video views, all that kind of stuff, and real quick I'm going to jump into there. But for most people, they want to start out with conversions. I recommend not doing that. The reason is you don't have an audience built up, and I believe it's still 50 per week that you actually have to convert. Or is it per month? I think it's 50 per month that you have to convert. It used to be 25. Now I believe it's 50. I mean, when you're doing e-commerce like you guys are doing on there, hopefully more of an e-commerce customer that's watching this one, you guys will be spending enough that it really won't matter. You also want the pixel on your site, and we're going to go over the pixel later, but once the pixel is actually on your site and it's tracking people, then you can say, okay, these people went through, and I know on Amazon you can't actually put tracking on Amazon. I know. I understand. Okay? Completely understand that. But if you have a landing page, if you have a sales page, if you have something that's promoting them to Amazon, where you're actually describing your product, you have a video, you have something else that is going to sell, because no longer are you just advertising on Amazon, you're actually advertising. So please use that if you're advertising on Amazon. But now that you're advertising off of Amazon, what you actually need to do is you need to push people to Amazon. So you have many different options. There's no longer you just have to run an ad and run them straight to Amazon. You can actually run them to a sales page. You can run them to an article on a, well, it could be a website or it could be another landing page, but it could be an article that people can read through, and then there's a link at the bottom. I mean, there's so many different options of what we can do. We can retarget them based on email opt-ins. If you need them to opt into something, say you're selling, a much larger, more expensive product, and maybe you're doing FBM, fulfillment by merchant, versus FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, then, yeah, I mean, there's so many options, so many options. But let's go ahead and run through right now the actual ads manager. So yeah, there's a giant mirror like right past the computer, and I just tapped it with my foot, so that was that sound. On here, you're going to go ahead and get awareness. Of course, you have brand awareness and reach. As you can read, show your ad to the maximum number of people and increase your awareness for your brand by reaching people who are most likely to be interested in it. These are possible ones you can put out there. It really depends. If you have something that's going to go really viral and you just want to get it to the most people possible, and you know that once people see it, they're going to share it, awesome, do that. For reach, for brand awareness, what we're going to do is, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. So you just want to get in front of people on those ones. They're actually the best for if you want to get really low cost ads. They're going to give you the lowest costs. And then we have consideration right here in the middle, and it's going to be send more people to a destination on or off of Facebook, such as a website, app, or messenger conversation. So this one, of course, is going to be a little bit more something. So if you guys are running these ones, it's more of to keep somebody on there, to keep somebody interested in your page, maybe to look at the ad, maybe to share it, maybe to do, stuff like that. You guys have awareness options for kind of on Facebook, where traffic is more of if you're pushing them off of Facebook. Now, I know what you're thinking. Let's start with traffic. I'll get to that in a second. I wouldn't recommend that either. You can if you want to. You can just send them off your site and see what happens. But again, you're sending people off of Facebook, so it tends to be a little bit more expensive on that side. So then you also have engagement. I'm just going to read through these. Get more post engagements, page likes, event responses, or offer claims. Pretty self-explanatory. If you take an ad and you put it out in front of people and it's an engagement ad and you're trying to get people to engage with it, hopefully you get engagement. If your ad sucks, it's not going to get engagement. Nobody's going to like it. Well, it might get bad engagement. It might get people laughing at it. It might get other things on there. But it's not going to be the engagement that you actually want. All right. And I'm not saying it's all engagement you don't want. Engagement is good. It actually is actually a good campaign to run if you want to start out with a carousel or an image ad, something like that, just to get people talking about it. You can even have your past purchasing clients in your remarketing audience. You can have all different things on that one. So you can make sure people are commenting on there like, hey, I got this product, it's amazing. You guys that are used to e-commerce, you guys know how valuable testimonials, reviews, all that kind of stuff will be for yourself. Same thing with local businesses. I understand that you guys have Google, Yelp, Facebook reviews, all that kind of stuff. But especially on e-commerce, because nobody can physically touch your product. They're not going to walk into a store and see your product unless you're a much larger seller and you've partnered with, say, Walmart or Target or whoever you partner with in person or a local mom and pop shop, whatever. But for the most part, unless you're a nationally distributed product, you're going to need to be getting engagement on everything you do. So that way people are like, hey, I got this product. It was awesome. Let's run with it. Okay? So that way other people see it and they're like, oh, okay, somebody got the product. It was awesome. Maybe I'll get the product and maybe it'll be awesome. And then they'll start to trust you. So app installs, pretty simple. If you're running app installs, you're an app developer, let's talk. It's pretty cool stuff. They're pretty fun to run because usually it's like a game or it's something else where they have really cool content. So if you guys are app installers or know anybody that's an app installer, let me know. I'd even do some trials on that one. All right, side point. Now we're going to into video views. One of my favorites to start out with, at least. Get more people to view your video content. This one, I mean, what can I say about this one? Talk about remarketing audiences. Not only do you have your website that you can remarket, but now you'll also have people that can watch, say 3 seconds of your video, 10 seconds of your video. It's a 6-minute video and you have 50% of your video or 75% of your video that somebody's watching. I mean, 100% of it. You can do all different kinds of stuff on here. You can, say people that went to your website and also view your video. I mean, you can do so many different combinations on this one. It's so interactive. People that engage with your page, people that, all kinds of stuff that you group with this, where everything else is basically like they either have to click your links, go to your actual page, something like that, because I mean, as you guys know, if you're scrolling through your feed, it doesn't matter if it's Facebook or it's Instagram. If you scroll through your feed, I don't know you looked at my photo. I have no idea. They don't track you that much, or maybe they do, but they don't tell us that. So you're not getting tracked that much. At least we don't know about it. So, I mean, I have no idea if you've looked at it unless you engage with it. So that's why engagement actually kind of works a little bit, so you can remarket to certain people that actually engage with yours. But video view is some of the best. Of course, you're probably not going to want to do a 3-second video view. If you do a 3-second video view, I mean, those are people literally just scrolling through a feed and they watch your video and it's going to count them on there. Because I think I was running one campaign and it was like 200,000 video views at like 3 seconds. You're getting it under a cent, of course, because you want to, of course, get it cheap, because if not, you're screwing yourself on the back end. But we had like 200,000, what was the number? I think we had like around 25% or like something like that of people that actually viewed the video more than what we were targeting for. We had multiple different audiences, so one was 50%, one was more like 10 seconds, one was like 30 seconds, all that kind of stuff. But it really made a huge difference. So we could really spread those people out. We could make sure that certain people that are engaging, we could remarket them differently than people that are viewing different parts of the video. If you watch a 50% of a 30-second video, you're going to get a much different impression if you're watching, say, 50% of a 6-minute video. So you guys can understand that completely. You watch 3 minutes of something, you're going to understand that product, hopefully by that point. If not, you're doing a bad job making your videos. And actually, that's a good point. I should probably make a course in addition to this on videos. But either way, video views, love it. Absolutely love it. You're going to find out why later on. If you're not good on camera, if your product doesn't show well on camera, if for some reason that's not right, then you got to choose one of these other objectives and just get your stuff out there. Lead generation. Of course, drive more sales, leads, such as email addresses from people interested in your brand or business. But basically with lead generation, I mean, you guys have seen it so many times. Here's a free video series, give me your email. Here's a swipe file, a PDF document of something. Here's a whatever, free course. Here's a free whatever. It really doesn't matter. That's what they're going for lead generation. So they want information from you. That's lead ads. Lead generation, you can run traffic to your websites, but lead generation is the lead ads on here. Huge press about it. Everybody loved it. There's not enough friction. And what I say by friction is you want people to go through some friction points, especially if you're a local business or you're a coach or you're somebody doing some type of training online, something like that. You want a little bit more friction than just like, hey, click this button, it's going to populate your information, click one more button and you're done, because that's going to give you so many people to weed through. It's like saying Gary Vaynerchuk at VaynerMedia or Grant Cardone is going to put out an ad, or Ty Lopez is going to put out an ad for job applications, and they're going to get 3. No, they're probably going to get thousands of job applications for those ones. So the hard part then is weeding through the data. Just like here on lead generation, it's kind of too easy. So that way you have so many extra people that actually opt in. So it looks great if you're doing local clients, and I fell for that too. I was like, hey, you guys are getting tons of leads. They're really bad leads. First of all, you could have people that haven't updated their phone number in years, email address, whatever it is. They could have completely different information, but it's auto-populating it because it's in the system of Facebook. Then you have people that opted in and they just really didn't care. They just clicked 2 buttons, and that's where the problem is you're not giving them friction. You're not giving them something to butt up against. Multiple pages. Opting in with actually typing in an email address, especially if you're trying to get them, and every slot is kind of its own on landing pages, and we'll kind of get to this a little bit later because I want to explain what an actual landing page is. Landing pages, I mean, a name, an email, maybe even first name, last name, an email, a phone number, a question. All of those are friction points. So if you're literally just having somebody opt in and they're getting your email, well, that's less of a friction point. You'll see that a lot on pop-ups on websites. It's just an email. You're not putting your name, first name, last name, email address, phone numbers, questions, all that kind of stuff in those, because they just want to get your information as fast as possible, as easy as possible, because those are going to go into automation sequences. The only thing you really have to do is you have to pay for your email autoresponder, and just make sure that you have the certain amount of people that you can actually remarket to. So if there's 5,000 people in your list, you're not going to, of course, use the MailChimp free 2,000 people. So you just have to pay for those people that are in your actual list. As long as you're making a return on each person, or a return on, $2 is what each new opt-in is worth for you, even though maybe not all of them spend that. Maybe somebody spends $100, $200, whatever. Kind of equals out over all of your subscriber count. That's why you kind of need that a little bit more on there, because if you're actually doing follow-up calls, if you're actually doing all the stuff that doesn't have automation into it. So I mean, if you're doing catalog sales, that's automation. That's your store literally with Facebook, and they're showing ads back to people based on that kind of stuff. You're not sitting there and you're saying, okay, this person viewed this item, so now I'm gonna create an ad and run it to that person and do, of course you're not doing that. Same thing. Lead generation is not good when you're actually doing lead ads if you have to call those people, if you have to follow up in any way, if your company has to follow up in any way, if you have salespeople that have to follow up with those people. I just wouldn't recommend it. I know this has been a really long rant, but I just would not recommend the lead generation ads on that one. Then we're going to bump onto messages. Apparently. Get more people to send messages to your business in Messenger. This is a great one if you want to interact with people and you're trying to do kind of like an email campaign, but you're like, hey, you know what? Most of my customers, I know they're going to be on Facebook, so let's talk to them in Messenger. Then you use chatbots, you use other stuff like that to then converse with these people inside of your Messenger. The nice thing is it's a little bit different than, say, your email, because in an email, you don't really have too much back and forth. It's more like you're just putting emails out there through automation, or if you're actually sending emails, more power to you. Congratulations. You're spending way too much time and you're not doing it correctly. I should really do an email automation one on this too. Tagging versus lists. All right, either one. Too many other videos that need to be made. But you can chat with somebody in Messenger, and in Messenger, they will actually be able to have questions, kind of respond back and forth. Your bots will be able to talk to them, and I believe, as I'm recording this, everything is being released again from the whole huge Facebook blow-up of data leaks. So now I believe people are able to do Messenger bots again. So that is great news for everybody. Now I'm going to go on to the conversion column. So conversions drive valuable actions on your website, app, or in Messenger. Basically, you want somebody to buy something. So that's it. Add to cart. Like, hey, I want you to at least add to cart. And that brings me to a second point is when you're running conversions, and I'll talk about this when we're doing remarketing and stuff again, so don't worry if you don't understand all of what I'm saying or any of what I'm saying. It's completely okay. I'll explain it in much, much more detail. I just kind of want to do a full overview of everything. So in conversions, I mean, you can start with people that have gone to a certain product page, then you can remarket those people and try and get them to add to cart. Then you can try and remarket to the people that added to cart. Of course, with abandoned cart emails, but if they didn't purchase, you can also remarket to them on Facebook and say, hey, you abandoned your cart, here's an offer off or something like that. Here's 10% off, here's 5% off, 50% off, whatever you want to do for an offer for those guys. Maybe even here's a bundled product that you can get with that one if you want to. Buy two for the price of one. I mean, you get it. There's offers. But that's a great one, so you can start lower. So like I was saying, is conversions. You actually need conversions for Facebook to optimize for other people that'll convert. So it's going to look through those profiles. It's going to kind of crawl through there just like Google. If you know SEO, it's going to crawl through your site and say, okay, this site is about this. Let's get this many viewers, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Kind of the same thing for conversions. So that way it's going to basically crawl through everybody's data on Facebook. I know it sounds bad, but it's actually not because we don't get any of that data. But it's going to say, okay, this person that purchased it is just like this person or very similar to this person. So then we're going to run the ad to this person, and hopefully that person clicks through and goes through the whole process and purchases. So that makes a little bit more sense. Catalog sales, this is basically creating ads that automatically show items from your catalog based on your target audience. What I was talking about before. If you're doing like Shopify, if you're doing some of those other ones, you can actually do a catalog sales, basically product pages, that kind of stuff. So somebody visits a certain product of yours, you can do it by category, you can do it by item. So say they visited, you're selling cat items and dog items on your site, and they visited a cat item. Well, you don't want them to see a dog item on your site. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to remarket them, and you're going to show them cat items because they visited your cat items. These are very uncomfortable headphones. So if you see me adjusting them, I apologize. But yeah, basically what you want to do is just have people the ability to see your products again after they've come off your site, even if they've just visited those pages or whatever kind of action they've taken on your site. There's many different things, of course, you can do with that one, just like conversions, but it's kind of one step ahead. So instead of a conversion like, hey, abandoned cart, you can actually say, hey, you abandoned your cart of this item, so now we're going to show you more of that item because we know you're interested in that certain type of item or catalog. So maybe, hey, buy 5 of these different items, a necklace, a shirt, a this, a that. You can kind of do a carousel ad, and we'll get into ad types later. Store visits, this is more local, but get more people nearby to visit your brick and mortar locations. Actually, it's completely local. I shouldn't have said more local. But yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Get people to visit you. Say, hey, running a pop-up, run a store visits ad.